Hello guys, welcome back to the another video on Deepcodr. In this video, let's explore Terraform and let's see how to deploy a Azure SQL server and database in Azure using Terraform. So let's go to the editor and start deploying our configuration. Now let's start by creating the project folder which will contain our Terraform configuration. So inside this folder, we will create our main.tf file which will contain the configuration for Terraform. Now let's add the Terraform block in which we will provide the required providers. So let's provide Azure RM in which the source will be HashiCorp/Azure RM, and we will specify the version for it. The version will be nearly equal to or greater than 3.0. Now let's provide the provider configuration. For now, let's specify the features as none. You can add your own features if required. Now let's add the resources block. To create the Azure SQL server, we will be requiring Azure Storage Account, Azure SQL Server, and then we will create Azure SQL Database. So let's first create the SQL server. So first we will add the resource called Azure RM SQL Server. So the required configuration, we will add name of the server, then the second thing will be the resource group name, which will be common for all the resources. Then we will add the location of the server, which will be East US. Now let's add the version of the engine that we'll be using. So that will be 12.0. Now let's provide the credentials for administrator login. So first we will specify the username. Now let's specify the password for the administrator. The password should follow the guidelines as specified by the Azure. Now let's provide the tags like environment, which will test in our case. Now let's add another resource which will be Azure Storage Account, which will be used to access the SQL server and database. Let's give the name for the storage account. Let's copy the same name as we have given to the resource. Now let's provide the resource group, which will be same as our SQL server. Then let's add the location, which will be again same as the SQL server. The account tier will be standard, and the account replication type will be LRS. You can also specify GRS if required. The LRS will copy the data 3 times in the same data center. Now let's add the final resource, which will be our SQL database. Let's give the name to the SQL database. Let's give the name which will be same as the resource name. Let's specify the resource group name and the location, which will be same as the SQL server. Now we will add the depends on attribute so that the SQL database will be created after the SQL server and storage account creation. Now let's add the environment tag, which will be again test. Finally, let's add the server name that we have created. And that's it. We are ready to deploy the configuration. Before applying the configuration, let's review the configuration. Now open the terminal and initialize the Terraform so that it will install the required packages and providers. Let's wait for the Terraform configuration to be initialized. This will install the required packages like Azure RM with the version specified. That's it, we have initialized the Terraform configuration. The state file will be created inside the folder. Now let's apply the configuration using Terraform apply. This will show the required changes that will be done to the infrastructure. You can review the changes and then type yes to proceed. As we can see, the SQL Server creation and the storage account creation has been started. Wait for it to complete. As we can see, the creation of the SQL server has been completed, and now it will start the creation of the SQL database. As we can see, we have successfully applied the configuration and the resources have been added successfully. Let's verify the deployment in the Azure console. So first let's check the SQL server. As we can see, we have got the SQL server created. Now let's verify the SQL database. We can see that our SQL database has been created successfully in the server that we have created. Now let's check the storage account that we have created. And yes, it is created successfully. So that's it for today's video. We have seen how to deploy a SQL server and SQL database using Terraform. We have also seen the configuration to deploy the storage account. For more such interesting tutorials and videos, please subscribe my channel and share my videos. I will see you in the another interesting video or tutorial. Till then, keep deploying.